Today we're going to a Tesla Clubhouse event, and I'm expecting it to be extra fun because they just did the launch event for Model 3 yesterday, and more or less on time. Must be my mother-in-law's influence.
What have I done now?
The reason why I'm more or less on time. Amazing weather for a Tesla event. Hey Jesse, let's have a look, what's it say? Oi, Jasper! You know where he wants to go, don't you?
Yeah.
Racing.
Have you ever run out of range in the Nissan Leaf?
I have never run out in any EV, and I don't plan to.
Nearly ran out of range in the Nissan Leaf twice. Once was my mistake, because I went past the service station that I was supposed to pull off at to charge, and then it was quite a long way to the next roundabout to then come back and then to go back again, so I really got very close on that one. And another one was where I had 3 broken rapid charges in succession, which was up in Abington.
That's bad luck.
So there were 2 there that said they were working on Ecotricity's website. This is about 3 years ago or whenever, it was in the early days. And then when they were broken, there was one down the road that was broken, and I had to limp to a Type 2 charger and sit there for about 2 hours, like sort of 1 or 2%. So that was the closest I've ever gone, but in 60,000 odd miles in both cars.
That's why you have to leave a nice buffer. You always have to leave a buffer because you could miss a junction and have a 30-mile round trip to get back to your charger, or you could have 3 that aren't working. You remember when they were all picking up the 30 cars? Every single one was next to a supercharger, and firstly, obviously, there's no accident to that. They wouldn't have been real superchargers. It was, for show. But secondly,
sorry to interrupt you, but I think they were real superchargers. From what I've heard, yeah, they were.
Oh, they've expanded that side then a lot.
Well, I think they were, but I think they're temporary. So they will put them in for an event and then remove them.
They actually plumbed them in.
Yeah.
Really?
They've done it in the UK as well. Some of the first ones.
Oh, fantastic. Well, there you go. Not for show then. I was trying to explain to my mother-in-law, Debbie. She was saying, well, what would be the advantage? Why would you buy a Model 3 over, say, the next-gen Leaf or Hyundai Ioniq or whatever? And the reason, purely and simply, is superchargers. You could buy a Model 3, jump in it, and do the exact same drive that I did to Italy today, without any planning, without any forethought or cards or, am I going to make it to the next charger? Will it be working? You'll just go there and come back like an ordinary car.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest selling points.
Yeah, it's the essential selling point. If you want to sell it to large numbers of people, they've got to get that mass market, just jump in it and go.
Which is probably why Elon wanted that to be a supercharger layout for the collector.
Yeah.
It's just a shame in some ways that it wasn't a bit more like the S1 where they're handing over keys and things. It just looked like people were getting in cars and sort of not really sure. They didn't drive off, and then the feed cut, and I was like, okay.
Aren't they all employees though?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I kind of figure, partly why they might have done that. I mean, they're paid for cars, but they're not deliveries like...
Yeah. And do you know about the rules of how the owners can't, the new owners can't sell them on? And it's all written in the contracts.
Well, that makes sense, otherwise they'd be on the market by now, wouldn't they?
They would,
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Oh, awesome. Look, Eddie's got that too. So have you guys had fun?
Yes.
Learned lots of fun facts.
That the Winchester charging point has disappeared.
Yes,
What
I
did you
forgot
say
about that. When the original superchargers were put in, they had to do some deals they wouldn't do anymore. For example, letting the landlord cancel whenever they liked, which is basically what happened.
I've got a spare wheel and jack now and everything.
I've
really gone to. I bought.
Oh, fantastic! In case you have a puncture.
Yeah, and it's a brand new part-time tyre. because I did have a puncture.
Yeah. I haven't. What one you couldn't drive on?
I limped the
Yeah.
garage and I had the foam inside.
Yeah.
And of course Tesla told me to get a new tyre.
Yeah.
It's quite expensive.
I've had a couple of tyres plugged.
Yeah. That's
Just
what I
fixed,
had.
and they're fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I went all the way to Italy on one of them.
Well, I've just watched your 2 latest. I've even gone on the hotel and had a look. It's very lovely.
It's a
hotel.
really nice hotel.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and it was interesting what they were saying about destination chargers.
Yeah.
Because the owner there that I bumped into, he was saying they've actually had quite a lot of Tesla. I think he said something like at least one a week. There's almost always a Tesla there, and by and large, those would be customers that wouldn't be there if they hadn't installed the. One thing came across loud and clear from that was that the push is on selling Model S and X.
Yes.
Certainly in this country, but I would imagine also in the US. You know, they've got so many orders for Model 3 already. They just want to ramp that up as quick as they can and get them produced, but they don't want to sell any more.
No,
what they want to do is sell S and X
Yeah.
to pay for all the robots
Might be a bit
they
of profit
need.
in those now.
Yeah, fairly large amount in Model S and you know a little bit less, but still quite a bit in Model X.
Yours is one of the very early cars, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's a classic.
Nice to meet. Anyway.
And you.
Yeah.
Thanks so
But
much.
if you're around, I'm in the other car park. I
Yeah.
have got the Spurt I was wanting to show you.
Yeah, that would be great.
The
if
big
we-
journey that you did the other day. Scary.
Well, I made sure I had European breakdown cover. You know what? My left arm's killing me. Ow. I'm going to need to think about some kind of a dolly to sort of like walk the camera around with, I think. That was a fascinatingly interesting little chat that Georg gave in there. Loads of good information. I'm going to share it with you. He asked no filming, so obviously I didn't, which means I probably can't remember half of what he said, but it'll crop up in later videos. A few of the things that I did find quite interesting was, at the moment, doesn't sound like there's a massive push to increase the power of superchargers, which I think is perfectly sensible. Nothing wrong with the existing charge rate. You know, their goal is to try and match that charge rate to the amount of time people would normally spend stationary anyway, so that driving a Tesla does not impact on the journey that you would normally do, you know, except for when you stop to film, of course, which does happen. Sounds like superchargers are being installed all over the place at the moment. They are planning on, you know, trying to fill that gap along the south and east up towards sort of Ipswich, fill that bit in. Obviously, no idea when. Supercharger installations are all about getting the power into the site, because often there isn't enough. There were loads of other things that he said, loads, especially to do with things like, you know, energy and the future of the business and the direction of drive to not just sustainable transport but sustainable energy, which I'm obviously fully down with. And apparently all superchargers at the moment, at least, are run on green electricity, which is fantastic. I'm very pleased about that. They weren't always, but they are now. That's what they try and do where they have that option. I'm a really, really big believer in this business because I think they've got their hearts in the right place. It's very exciting. And I'm gonna go get another coffee. We're just nipping off to see Graham's spare tyre. Oh, that's actually quite nifty, isn't it?
Yeah. So it comes in this outer wrap, and it's a pocket tyre. It's a Continental.
Oh, fantastic.
Quite posh, isn't it?
Yeah, that does the job. The thing that always put me off something like this is I wouldn't want to take up my whole front,
No.
or my whole back for that matter.
It does take up a reasonable amount of space, but if it's a desperate situation, this would get you home easy. I don't know whether it passes by the back caliper with the
Oh,
low
are they?
profile tyres. So these tyres are bigger than the ones on the front. But a firm in
Still.
Manchester, wheels.
Let me know if it does go past the calipers on the back, or actually, if anyone else has any opinion on whether it will go past,
James and Kate.
let me know in the comments below. Yeah, James and Kate.
Got a little jack, 2-ton jack, German one. I'm hoping I'll never use it.
Of course. Well, the thing is, if you have it with you, you probably won't. If you don't have it with you,
Yeah.
pretty much guarantee you'll need it.
Quite.
Got all the kit, haven't you?
Gonna give it a go. Gotta be
Absolutely.
prepared.
Cheers very much.
Bye-bye,
Thanks for showing me
bye-bye.
that.
All the best.
You going undercover because it's raining and we're going anyway in a minute. So see you back home. Oh dear, that poor child. Every single time. Well, that was an awesome event. I love those Tesla Clubhouse things. Very interesting. Loads of extra bits of information that came across from Georg. And a lot of it is not the kind of thing that you'll read anywhere, which is what I actually quite like. You know, like what he feels the Tesla priority is on a given thing. The vacuum cleaner's got stuck somewhere.
Oh, it's gone
Because
on a holiday.
it's not back on its charging post. Where did it get stuck? Yeah, it's these stools. It was alright with them last time.
But the problem is you don't know how much it's done now.
Well, it will just try and do everything again, I think. Right, I'm gonna go grab Jazzy from the car. Alright, hope you've enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next instalment of my daily vlog. Bye!
Just go to charge and think, oh, we're at Sainsbury's, we'll go and have a
Yeah,
Starbucks,
but the
or
point
we'll
is
go
they'll
and do
spend-
some shopping.
Yeah, the point is they'll spend money, but they would spend more money if they were just ordinary people going there to do their weekly shop.
That's a real shame.
It is a shame because it was a good one.
I remember when we went, we parked and we spent an absolute fortune, didn't we?
Yeah, in Starbucks.